Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Vera Clinical Exchange. This is our complimentary webinar series for Vera Fellowship. So today we're going to talk about luxury care, and we're going to be joined with Dr. Na and Dr. Ko, two providers working at that highest level of care. And Dr. Na is the founder and director of Salon de Dr. Tunes. It's an ultra premium private clinic in Korea, in Cheongdam, and she serves Korean celebrities and VVIP clientele. And I know this firsthand because I have helped to refer international patients who have spent six figures in a single day at her clinic. I hope I could say that. But yeah, her clinic was the first in Korea to conceptualize all layer lifting as well. And her clinic is known as where Regeron model gets Regeron treatments done. So, Dr. Na, welcome. Did I miss anything?
Hello, everyone. 너무 잘 해주셔서 감사합니다. 만나 뵙게 돼서 너무 반갑고 빠진 거 없어요.
So she said, "No, you didn't miss anything. Welcome. Thank you for the introduction." And joining Dr. Na is Dr. Darby Ko. She was born and raised in Korea, now in New York City. She brings Korean aesthetics and wellness into highly personalized New York practice. I've been there myself. She is an amazing person before she's an amazing provider. She's a Johns Hopkins trained doctor of nursing practice, and she is a pediathreat expert. So she's going to talk about that. And she's an educator who trains providers in the US alongside Korean plastic surgeons. But through co-aesthetics, which is her practice, she works with private clientele, appointment only, and with highly individualized care. Dr. Ko, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. Nice meeting you all.
Dr. Na and Dr. Ko are longtime friends. Dr. Ko, when she visits Korea, they hang out, and vice versa when Dr. Na visits New York. So Dr. Ko will also help to translate anything for Dr. Na if Dr. Na needs it. So let's begin. So first, I want to talk about what premium care actually requires. And Dr. Na, I want to begin with you. But first, I think it's, you have a very interesting name. And I know that you have a great philosophy behind your practice. But Salon de Dr. Tunes, tell us the story of how you created this.
네, 저는 한 10년 정도 강남에서 이제 개원을 해서 클리닉을 운영하고 있었고요. 굉장히 대중적인 컨셉으로 병원을 하고 있다가 2년 전에 청담동으로 옮기면서 좀 더 소수를 위한 프리미엄 케어를 좀 해보고 싶다는 생각을 하게 됐어요. 그래서 그 전에 저희 병원의 이름은 닥터 튠스 클리닉이었습니다. 이 튠이라는 거는 그 알마 레이저의 악센트 프라임의 별명이 튠인데, 이제 이 튠 페이스든 튠 라이너든 이 기계를 사용하는 거를 제가 굉장히 재밌어하고 잘 해가지고 이제 닥터 튠스 클리닉을 하고 있었던 차에 이제 뭔가 프리미엄한 느낌을 한 방울 얹으면서 이제 살롱드라는 프랜치를 붙이게 되었습니다.
Can you remember?
중간에 한번 끊을 걸 그랬어요.
Yeah, she had practiced in Gangnam for 10 years. And first, she started with the name Dr. Tunes, but she loved the device Alma, right? Alma
Yes.
device? Accent
Accent
Prime.
Prime.
And she wanted to upgrade. I'm trying to remember what she said. So she tried to upgrade her clinic more luxury environment or luxury sound. So she added Dr. Salon de, right?
살롱드. Yeah.
Yeah, Salon de. And I don't remember the last part. Can you help?
Her favorite device is Alma's Accent Prime. She was the best at it in Gangnam in the past 10 years. And, because that device has a nickname called Tunes, she named her clinic to Dr. Tunes. And now as she has more luxury clientele flying in from all around the world, she wanted to, make it a little bit more French, I guess.
Yes.
So, Dr. Ko, I want to talk about your practice. So, you bring similar high touch model, but now in New York. So, how do you assess patient skin, lifestyle, schedule, previous treatments or expectations as the patients visit your clinic?
So I often tell patients that I don't treat the appointment. I treat the person. Before I think about the device or injectables, I spend enough time to understand their skin history, previous procedures, daily skincare routine, lifestyle, or stress level, all that, even upcoming events. Sometimes people may come in asking for skin tightening, but if their skin barrier is compromised or they're experiencing inflammation, that is not actually what their skin needs that day. I also think that timing is a part of the treatment planning. If someone has a wedding in 2 weeks, my recommendations may be completely different than if they have a 6 months before an event. So every appointment starts with a question: what does your skin need today? I also believe premium care comes from continuity. Because my practice is appointment only, I develop a long-term understanding of each patient's skin. I remember how they healed after arc microneedling. I remember which skin boosters work best. Also, I remember how reactive their skin can be during wintertime. So our skin condition is not always the same, and it doesn't recover the same way every time. But this accumulated knowledge allows every treatment to become more personalized over time.
So I want to talk about how all of this judgment informs treatments, right? Sequencing. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about products, devices, sequencing protocols. At Dr. Na's clinic, a premium luxury clinic in Korea, and her signature all-layer lifting approach that I mentioned earlier, and she was the first to conceptualize that in Korea. It addresses facial aging across all facial layers. So Dr. Na, I want to hear about it. Why and how did you create this approach?
이제 워낙 한국의 이 디바이스들이나 인젝션들이나 이런 것들이 발달하다 보니까 아마도 제가 이렇게 딱 컨셉으로 만들기 전에도 그냥 비슷하게 어떤 이런 느낌으로 각자 치료는 하고 있었을 수도 있어요.
Dr. Na said before she conceptualized this, it may have already been happening in Korea before, around, within Gangnam in Seoul.
Maybe. 근데 어떻게 보면은 이제 저는 장비를 고르는 기준도 굉장히 오리지널 장비들, 효과가 좋고 정말 이 컨셉에서는 가장 좋은 오리지널 장비들로만 구성을 했기 때문에 어떻게 하면 좀 더 이 치료를 체계적으로 사람들한테 보여줄 수 있을까를 좀 고민을 했던 것 같아요.
While others may have been implementing multi-layer treatment approaches, Dr. Na, as she transitioned into super premium care, she really focused on cultivating the original devices and like the latest and the greatest. And she was thinking about how to showcase this as part of the treatment experience for the patients.
맞습니다. 그래서 이렇게 각 컨셉마다 디바이스들을 배치를 하고 나니까 이 좋은 것들을 어떻게 하면 묶어서 치료를 할 수 있을까? 이거랑 이거랑 같이 하면 좋은데라고 애매하게 제 머릿속에서만 그냥 떠돌던 생각들을 이렇게 좀 체계화한 거예요.
As she was addressing the concerns and these different concepts that each like different devices can tackle, she wanted to put together programs combining different devices and how to best layer them together and how to best sequence them together. So we're talking, this is a history lesson right now. I love it.
맞아.
Sorry, continue.
그래서 그렇게 처음에는 시작을 했지만 이것이 점점 더 자리 잡고 경과들을 제가 더 보고 다운타임은 얼마나 가는지 하는 데이터들이 쌓이다 보니까 조금 더 이게 체계화되어서 다운타임이 좀 있어도 되는 분들에게는 A 조합을 권하고 다운타임이 없어야 되는 분들은 B 조합을 권하고 이런 식으로 이 안에서 조합들에 대한 경험치도 쌓이게 됐습니다.
So as she was delivering the sequenced care to patients, and she collected a lot of data around like what kind of downtime each device requires and how when sequenced X, Y, or Z different ways, A/B testing, right? Different combinations. And so with a lot of this data and patient feedback, she was able to systemize the process. And she has had a lot of experience with the system. Does that sound right,
맞-
Dr. Na?
맞아요. 맞아요. 그리고 이제 저희는 그래서 프로그램을 위해서 이 체계화를 이렇게 시킨 건데 이제 이 그림이 워낙 좀 아이디어가 좋다 보니까 다른 병원들에서도 많이 이제 대중적으로 사용을 하고 계시지만 제가 봤을 때는 이 그림을 만든 본래의 의미는 잘 모르는 것 같고
Yeah, and she's saying how a lot of clinics in Korea are, starting to adopt her concept of all layer lifting with the devices that they are able to employ in their clinics, and she's noticing that. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about is how your Regeron technique is so well known that the brand's official Korean models come to your clinic for treatment. So do you often combine Regeron with this all layer lifting type of lasers?
네. 보통 이제 그 EBD 디바이스들을 하게 되면 굉장히 건조해지는 경우가 있기 때문에 그 직후에 이제 리쥬란을 하게 되면은 수분감도 지키고 이제 리프팅 타이트닝 효과도 있고 이렇게 되기 때문에 저는 많이 컴비네이션을 합니다. 그리고 보통 대부분의 환자들이 시간이 없으시기 때문에 한 번에 오셔서 많은 거를 하긴 원하시는 부분도 있고요.
She says she does, and there's two reasons why. One is obviously as she does all layer EBD, right, energy based devices programs, devices lead to dry skin. And so Regeron helps with countering that. And two is these very, ultra high net worth patients, they don't have a lot of time. And so they want to combine many, many treatments into one shorter session or a single day. And that's what I mentioned by like, oh, like there's been patients who've spent like six figures in a single day on treatments all over the body, right?
맞습니다.
I want to move over to New York now. So, Dr. Ko, how do you think about skincare, right? How do you prepare if devices, injectables, and threads, and maybe recovery as well?
I think skincare is one of the most overlooked parts of the procedural aesthetics. Patients often think the treatment itself creates the results. In reality, what happens before and after the procedure often determines how well they heal. One of the first thing I assess is skin barrier function. Is the skin inflamed or over exfoliated or using too many active ingredients? So a compromised skin doesn't respond as predictably. I also frequently modify patients' routines before the procedures. For example, depending on the treatment, I may have them temporarily pause some kind of skincare products such as retinoids or exfoliating acids or other potentially irritating ingredients. So the goal is not simply avoiding irritation. It's creating the healthiest possible environment for wound healing and regeneration. Recovery is also dynamic. Immediately after procedures, we simplify everything. We focus on calming inflammation, hydration, supporting the barrier, and minimizing unnecessary stimulation. Only after the skin has recovered do we gradually reintroduce active ingredients. I think I think of skincare almost like a rehabilitation after surgery. So you don't go immediately back to full activity. You progress in stages.
How about thread lifts? Because I know you specialize in thread lifts. You train about it. You also spoke about it recently, like last week, right?
Yeah, it was wonderful, and I had so much fun and so much learning, and it was a great experience. So I gave a lecture on the Korean philosophy of video threads at the K Beauty Aesthetic Summit in LA last weekend. One of the biggest difference is that in Korea, we don't think of video thread as just a lifting procedure. We see them as a regenerative treatment. One of the biggest misconception of video thread is that they don't last very long because people judge them only by the lifting effect. But lift is very important, but it's only one part of it. So video threads are actually a very unique regenerative tool that provides two distinct benefits. First, it gives you an immediate lifting effect, which lasts usually 4 to 6 months. At the same time, the tension created by the threads stimulates your cells to regenerate and remodel the skin. So that regenerative response can continue for a year or even longer. That's the true therapeutic value of video threads. So because of that, I almost always combine period threads with other regenerative treatments. Uh, Usually, I work from a deeper layer, from the deeper layer to more superficial layers. So we can start with the wool therapy to stimulate the deepest layer of the skin, and then neuromodulator if you need it, and followed by the period threads, and then later on do skin boosters in the dermis or laser in the epidermis. However, if a patient has a compromised skin barrier or skin quality, I usually treat the skin quality first because healthier extracellular matrix creates a better environment for healing and allows period threads to perform more effectively and produce a better long-term outcomes.
Now let's move on to how can premium clinics build long-term trust, because I think it's about continuity. It's a big theme in clinical K beauty. I want to see it from the lens of how premium providers earn enough trust to guide patients over the long term. So Dr. Na, I'm super curious. How do you build that trust with patients, because they're spending so much money with you?
네. 일단 저희가 인프라나 뭐 디바이스나 인젝션들이나 이런 것들이 굉장히 다양한 오리지널 제품들을 가지고 있기 때문에 핵심은 또 다음에 오셨을 때 그 전담 직원이 다시 케어하고 이런 시스템으로 가고 있습니다.
What she's emphasizing is that super hyper personalized, as she says, right, is the key for luxury patients, utilizing these very original devices and inject. I was actually at her clinic a couple days ago, and there's these patients coming in. She said that the reason why they come also is because of how original the devices and injectables are, and that's what they ask for. That's what they look for, and then also she said that the data that her team maintains as the repeat visits happen for these clients or these patients is an important factor as well. Dr. Ko, how do you think about the trust and the patients in their continuing of their treatments over time?
I've learned that patients don't stay because you have, the newest device. They stay because they trust your judgment. Sometimes most valuable thing I do is tell a patient, not today, or I don't think you need any treatment today. Patients remember honesty. Many of my patients are also professionals and public facing individuals. So privacy matters and consistency matters. But most importantly, they want somebody who understand how their skin changes over time. I often tell my patients, I don't want you to look different every year. I want you to continue to looking like yourself, just healthy and refreshed. So that philosophy naturally builds long-term relationships. I also don't believe every visit doesn't have to be involved with the procedures. Sometimes the best treatment is just in home care. Sometimes it's just waiting for another 3 months, or sometimes simply assuring a patient that they are already looking great. When patients know that every recommendation is made because it's right for them, not because I'm sell something, that trust becomes incredibly strong.
Well, we have a lot I want to talk about. We're out of time. This has been an amazing, amazing conversation, and can't wait to share more from the masterclass that Dr. Na is going to be presenting at the Vera Fellowship. But thank you, Dr. Na and Dr. Ko, for taking us inside your clinical thinking and talking about premium care, luxury care, and sequencing care. So I just wanted to wrap it up with just talking a little bit about what we're doing here. And so with Vera, we created this event, this October Immersive Fellowship, to give global audience access to top tier experts and clinics that are shaping the industry and leading the way in Korea. And so today's conversation is just a preview of that. And we want to bring a lot more educational conversations through digital means. And I think we're super excited to be doing that after the fellowship. But I wanted to emphasize that in October, we have this small, intimate cohort of participants, and master classes are going to be happening, private clinic visits, treatment experiences, building sister clinic relationships. You'll learn directly from Dr. Na, collaborate with her and visit her clinic and get treatments done. We have 10 seats left. And so, if you would like to view the full program, the link is down below. And I'm excited to see you in Korea. If you're already signed up and coming to Korea, we have so much in store for you all. And I see that we have some questions in the chat, but due to time constraints, we'll get to those questions in a future webinar. So stay tuned for updates, but thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Dr. Na and Dr. Kao.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you
Thank you.
soon.
Bye-bye.